It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. And tonight, our broadcast will be shifting to Minneapolis, where we'll see the Timberwolves going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Checking out the 76ers, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. Karl Anthony Towns out of Kentucky, just an incredibly mobile big man. How about his NBA future, Shaq?
You know, he could play either the 4 or the 5 and be pretty effective. He gets up and down the floor very well for his size, and guess what, Ernie?
What?
He's from Jersey.
Really? I did not know that. You're just a Jersey historian. I didn't know that. Towns gives you a lot, though. He gives you a little bit. For a big man, he can run the floor, like Shaq said. He gives you the versatility, and defensively, he's pretty good, impressive.
We have run out of time. It's time to go courtside.
Okay, fans, let's get loud!
And it's the 76ers coming in from out of town in this one. An interconference game today. The Timberwolves again playing host, continuing their homestand in this one. And, of course, Nerlens Noel. They'll need someone to fill his role.
Well, to say the deal changes the look and feel of this franchise is stating the obvious. I mean, they are a vastly different team than they were a few days ago, obviously looking long-term rather than the short-term.
Exactly. I mean, trading away a player with his talents is clearly a big-picture deal. I mean, you have to balance fit and talent as well as upside, and then to throw in the financial considerations. So this is more than just about the player.
Look at the 76ers starting group. We've got Robert Covington, Okafor out there with Sanders. Then there's Martin, and it's Cannon in at the point. They get it back to the wing right side, and here's Covington from the arc. That is good. Covington's got the opening field goal of the game for the 76ers. Looking at Philadelphia, they took the win in their last game against the Miami Heat.
And they ran their offense nearly to perfection in that one. Very few possessions were wasted.
Yeah, they put the mute button on them that time. I mean, in front of a hostile crowd, they never let the fans get going. They silenced them over and over again with big, timely shots.
Could be the first of a lot of mid-range jumpers that we see from him.
Karl Anthony Towns didn't come into the previous year as the most highly touted prospect, Clark, but his play last year at Kentucky would change that.
No question about it. People knew he was going to be good, Kevin, but few saw him being this good. He showed he could do a little bit of everything as a Kentucky big.
76ers on defense. It's a three-point game, and the rejection by Sanders. Out of bounds, Timberwolves ball as Minnesota keeps possession. A little over a minute 30 into this first quarter. Here's Towns, coming off a stellar performance against Detroit. Shot clock at 6. Levine can't hit. Good D by Sanders.
That's the kind of D you need when he's got the ball near the hoop. They were all over it.
This is to Okafor. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. And Sanders gets it to go on the assist from Covington.
Oh, that is just weak defense there. I'm pretty sure that was not the plan to give him those kind of baskets at the hoop.
Here's Levine. The pass to Towns. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
The one-hand slam is so sweet when it's his hand doing the slam.
Oh, yeah, he is so smooth, even on a power finish like that.
And really, that's what makes him unique, that combination of power and polish.
Pass to Sanders. Towns with the steal. Rubio with it. He had 10 points in the win against Detroit.
And also, he competed on the backboards. That also had a lot to do with the game.
Here's Levine. Here's Rudez. No good. That would have tied it.
Listen, playing Western Conference teams is never easy. And for the 76ers last year, it got downright ugly. Some games against the West, they just didn't stand any chance.
Martin wide open. He fires. Another three for Philadelphia.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Rubio outside. He kicks it to Towns. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant one foul.
And Kevin, I got to tell you, he's probably fortunate to just get a flagrant one there. I mean, so much contact. The officials easily could have gone even harder on it.
Greg, I agree. He better be on his best behavior from now on. One more flagrant of any variety, and he's out of here. Minnesota making some changes. Merlin's Noel checks in for Garnett. Bielitsa comes in for Damian Rudez, and Miller's subbed in for Ricky Rubio. A lot of blowouts for Philly last year against the West, as you talked about. Greg only managed to take 6 wins in their 30 games. Clark out of conference.
And Kevin, that was tied for the fewest wins against the West in the league. But again, no surprise with Philadelphia because they really were focused on developing young talent there.
Embiid.
And looking at Joel Embiid, he has all the tools to be the game's next great center. He's raw, no doubt about that. And he'll have to overcome the injuries, but his combination of size, speed, agility, practically unparalleled.
Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns, and so he's able to get 1 of 2. Levine kicks to Miller. There's a screen by Noel. To the wing on the left. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. Regarding Joel Embiid, what makes him even that much more unique as a young 7-footer, excellent shot mechanics and a feathery touch. In college at Kansas, he shot Greg 63% from the floor. Many of those were face-up jumpers.
And as the season wore on, he became money at the free throw line as well. Those are the kinds of unique attributes that make him an extra scary prospect.
And the basket good. Levine's got his first points of the game.
That's a quick bucket there. Solid in transition.
Well, you know, he loves the chance to get out and run, and we can see right there why he does.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here. Their first chance to take a look at Minnesota this season.
And one of the few bright spots of their last season was sweeping the season series in this matchup.
Yeah, for sure. Neither team a big-time contender in their respective conferences, Greg, but when the teams are fairly evenly matched, it can still be entertaining basketball.
That's good. Here's Miller. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Pekovic with a screen. And it's Miller penetrating. And it's Pekovic missing.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Thompson with the bucket.
They've got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
It's been a complete technical, dominant performance out here. They are in a zone.
Now here's Pekovic, and that one hits back iron.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Roten with it, covered by Miller. Lets it go. Kept alive. Out to Thompson. Now here's Roten. Back to Thompson. He got it up. And no good.
Okay, fans, put your hands together for your Timberwolves dancers.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And guys, what's your take on the 76ers so far?
Not much room to operate offensively. The defense has been stifling through the first.
Greg, they haven't given up a lot of easy chances at all.
Timberwolves trail by 6. Last season for the Timberwolves, it was a struggle most of the season. Young teams tend to do that, but they didn't have, unfortunately, Greg, much luck at home.
You know, they basically limped their way to a league-worst 9-32 record at home. Part of taking your lumps as a young team. Let's see how they respond this season.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. On the court for Minnesota, they've got Towns. Myleague is out there with Gorgie Dang. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Rudez in at the 2. Jang a screen for 3. And Sanders pulls it down.
You know, not everything was bad for the Wolves at home. I mean, they did have several highlight reel plays and also found their way to the foul line a lot. Biggest free throw differential at home in the league last season.
And really the problem for the Wolves at home is the same problem they had all season. I mean, their defense was atrocious. Worst field goal percentage against at home in the entire league last season.
Well, the plan has been obvious now, Clark, for a while. The 76ers really loading up on young players, letting them see a lot of minutes, and they're hoping it's going to bear some fruit, as you like to say, coming up.
Exactly, and it will in time because they've accumulated some really nice young talent, Kevin.
Now, here's Rubio. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. So he gets the whistle, contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
And with the 76ers, it's not just on the floor that they have stifled the progress. They've taken 2 top picks knowing they would sit out a full year just to rehab injuries.
You know, one thing few people talk about with the Sixers, this plan of building through the draft and with young players, what if it actually works to their benefit? Then it would become a copycat strategy because we know in the NBA, it's a herd mentality if something works.
Now here's Jang after the miss from Ricky Rubio. Clock at 6. There's the pick. Passes it to Towns. No luck, so Philadelphia will take it the other way.
They've been the glass eaters today, guys. A ton of effort out of them down low.
It's been a difference maker for them in this game. That's what's put them in front. You know what? He wasn't going to wait around for any help on that break.
Solo soiree performance all the way. How about that for a little bit of a limerick?
I'm going to let it slide.
And the rejection by Sanders. Count it, and the 76ers lead has been cut down to just 6 points with the basket from Myleague. Cannon dishes to Sanders. Pick by Okafor, and Sanders, here we go. And the rejection by Jang. And Sanders throws it down. Second quarter of play with almost 3 minutes gone. And Rubio kicks to Rudez. Back to Rubio. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Clearly, they've been the aggressors thus far when it comes to attacking the interior in this first half.
And they will call over the back on the play.
That's his second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
Some changes for Minnesota. Garnett comes in for Towns, and Zach LaVine sub in for Myleague. Now, here's Rubio. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Out to the right wing. Here's LaVine. It's hauled in by the 76ers. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
And guys, for Zach LaVine, once he finally got comfortable last season, boy, did he heat up. He shot 42% over his rookie year, but 47% over the last month. And I think that gave him a lot of confidence as he's entering into year 2.
Here's LaVine after the basket by Larry Sanders. Feeds it to Garnett. Shot on the wing. Rebound by the 76ers. Sanders has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Launches a 3. It's in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
Well, I tell you guys, when you look at this Wolves team, I mean, the outlook is really bright. A lot of young talent that's fitting together nicely. Good skill set. I think this group could be one to watch and really good going forward.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. So for the Timberwolves last year, Greg kind of traded into the top overall pick. getting the Wiggins deal, which means 2 consecutive years of having number 1. They're beginning to put together the ingredients.
I think they have a core to ultimately be formidable when you talk about that Western Conference. And to pick up Zach LaVine in that same draft, that was a nice selection as well. And don't discount what Flip Saunders brings to the table in terms of coaching and teaching these young players.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Jang. Noel comes in for Kevin Garnett. And Miller's subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Now, here is Miller, looking for his first basket still in this one. And it's wide right, hits off the rim.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Here's Cannon, covered by Miller. And the shot goes in from Embiid.
And I'll bet his percentage is pretty high from that range.
Timberwolves trail by 13. Miller, the pass to LaVine. And the rejection by Embiid. Cannon dishes to Embiid. Pass to Sampson. 59 seconds left in the first half. Embiid inside, covered by Pekovic. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down. Embiid's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And the lead continues to increase. They are just playing flawless basketball at both ends.
Greg, I can't identify an area where this team has underperformed. I mean, they've been 5-star in every category.
Here's Cannon, following the basket by Andre Miller. We've got 28 seconds left in the first half. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play. So it'll be Isaiah Cannon shooting. It's going to be on Nerlens Noel. Minnesota's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Noel sets a screen for Miller. 15 seconds left here in the second. Here's LaVine. He's covered by Thompson. And he gets it to go.
Sometimes folks forget about his decent mid-range jumper. He can knock those down all game given a chance.
Cannon from long range. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
How about that one? A perfect finish to the half for them to tack another 3 points onto their lead.
So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided. 76ers.
Well, Ricky, what does it say about this team to have such great productivity from the bench, and what does it do for you guys as a unit?
It's amazing. That means like we have a deep bench, and then a lot of work from the staff, from the everybody of the team, like doing extra work and winning games.
Well done, Ricky.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back, Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Philadelphia finds themselves ahead after 2 quarters. They are way out in front, leading by 17. Kenny?
Well, it comes down to confidence. From the opening tip, these guys had that swag. They had the attitude that you can't beat us, we can only beat ourselves.
Shaq, what you think about Minnesota?
Well, when you look at the opponent field goal percentage, that tells the whole story. They gave them way too many good looks. When they come out of the break, they got to play way tougher, Ernie. Get those hands up. Get in your opponent's face. Do something.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just...
And as we welcome you back, we begin our second half. So far, not a tightly contested game, guys, but, you know, anything can happen. One of the stories here, Larry Sanders really getting it done today.
Yeah, created a lot of quality shots for himself in that first half, and he knew when to pass it up when the double team came.
And that led to a very high points per shot number for him. For those of you that are into analytics, that stat really tells how efficient a player has been, and he's been very efficient so far.
Kicking off the second half, here's Brett Brown's foul. Isaiah Cannon is out there with Martin. Then there's Sanders. Then it's Robert Covington, and it's Okafor in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Levine. And there's the whistle, fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line.
Hey, for Zach LaVine, the dunk contest last season was his coming out party to the world. He put on a show that everybody in the NBA was buzzing about.
And for LaVine and his dunking, if you saw him in college or last season, you knew he was a very special player in the air.
Well, LaVine can be one of the great all-time dunkers with his height and ability to lift off. He gets airborne so effortlessly that there are few that can match his power and finesse once he's airborne.
Covington's shot is off.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Here's Levine, covered by Martin. Levine kicks to Garnett, makes it off the glass.
Good job threading that pass into the lane. I like his vision, guys. He sees everything.
Philadelphia leading by 13. Here's Cannon, kicks it to Sanders. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot two right here. It's now been a decade since the Minnesota Timberwolves played postseason basketball. Last trip to the postseason for the Wolves back in 2004.
Wow, that was a long time ago. And if you're wondering, that is the longest playoff drought in the league currently. Wolves want nothing more than to get back to playing playoff basketball, and featuring the #1 pick in last year's draft will help.
Good way to start, you're right.
And, you know, even though the Wolves have been out of the playoffs so long, you get the sense it won't be too much longer. They've got a really nice core to build around, and I think could be special, especially Andrew Wiggins.
90 seconds now into the second half. Rudez passes to Rubio, and that one's good. Rubio's got his second basket of the night.
And as you mentioned, the Wolves could be back in the playoffs in due time. They are headed in the right direction. Some mistakes have been made along the way, but you have to like their future now.
Now here's Sanders. 15 points in the game. It's good. Now he's shooting 6 for 7.
Almost uncontested. I mean, it's nice to be able to add to the lead without having to really work for it.
Rubio dishes to Levine. Okafor grabs the miss. Okafor's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And again, it's Larry Sanders. Sanders has got 19 points.
And just a little bit ragged defensively there, Clark.
And Rubio kicks to Levine. Second half of play with just under 2.5 minutes gone. And he gets the bucket.
A nice move to create a gap there in the defense and get to the bucket.
The 76ers leading by 15. Now Roten. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 5 to start the second half, developing a nice rhythm out there. Rudez passes to Rubio. Garnett, the screen. Rubio dishes to Rudez. No good from the wing.
And a big lead for them on both the scoreboard and the backboard thus far.
Yeah, rebounding has been a big key in this one, Greg. They've asserted their will and have taken control on the glass.
So it's Minnesota now, following the miss by Martin from deep. Rudez kicks to Levine. 6 on the shot clock. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. The Timberwolves shooting their 7th attempt at the foul line in this one.
And when you got a team percentage of about 81%, you're going to be one of the elites in this league.
And that's a little better than they did last year from the free throw line.
Some changes for Minnesota. Nikola Pekovic is checked in for Towns. Nerlens Noel comes in for Kevin Garnett. And Andre Miller is subbed in for Ricky Rubio. And then for Philadelphia, Joel Embiid comes in for Okafor. And Carl Landry is subbed in for Sanders. Now here is Martin. With an average of around 19.5 points a game, his scoring has been a constant for them. He feeds it to Landry. Landry with a screen for Martin. They get it back.
Well, that defense went from poor to no defense at all.
And when he's open like that, you don't see him miss those looks very often.
3 points.
And Robert Covington picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And the Executive of the Year award is an odd one. I mean, given yearly to the executive that was deemed to have had the best year with their roster, that is perhaps the hardest thing to evaluate.
Here's Rudez. And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
Major defensive lapse right there. I mean, he's not a player you can leave open for a jump shot. You've got to stay attached to him. They're lucky he couldn't punish them for it.
Now here is Martin. Embiid kicks to Martin. This one for 3, and he gets the bucket. Martin's got 6.
Really good job of creating just enough space to let that one fly.
And for the Executive of the Year award, it's hard to evaluate because for GMs, Clark, it takes years of moves to reach a certain point.
Yeah, it's an annual award, but it's awarded for years of decisions, if that makes any sense. One big signing and trade isn't quite enough to win the award.
Isaiah Cannon, he's checked in for the 76ers. There's 1:26 left in the third quarter. Miller, the pass to Noel. Soft touch off the glass. Noel's got his second basket.
I'm not sure who was supposed to be on him that possession. I mean, apparently neither did the defenders.
Embiid sets the pick for Martin, and the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
And that's turnover number 2 on the game, doing a nice job in terms of ball control.
Holding on to the ball and holding on to this lead.
There's a screen by Noel. Miller outside. The feed to Pekovic. The rebound by Roten.
Boy, the effort was there, but he just couldn't quite fight his way through traffic.
Martin against Miller. And it's Martin missing.
He's been wayward and just off on about everything he's put up in this period.
Back to Embiid. Outside Martin. He dishes it to Roten. 5 on the clock. Landry, a screen on Noel. Martin from outside, and he gets it to go. Martin's got 6 in the quarter.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
Here's Levine. He's covered by Roten and stolen by Roten. And now the 76ers on the break. Martin for 3. Shot is off. And at the end of the third quarter, a huge lead in this one may already have been decided. 76ers on top, running away with it. And we'll get it. Welcome back as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Not exactly a nail-biter here, but you never know. Here's Cannon. Downs is out there with Jang. Then it's Ricky Rubio. And it's Andre Miller. And it's Garnett in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup for Minnesota.
Well, with Steve Kerr and Jason Kidd both coming with no coaching experience over the last few seasons and also having success, I don't know, guys. Maybe we should throw our hat in the ring. But pretty impressive stuff.
That's not for me to do. I've already determined I don't want to coach for a paycheck, even if it is a big one.
You know, you look at the coaching success for both Jason Kidd and Steve Kerr, both with long playing careers, championship experience on their resumes. Steve, in fact, Clark even had some time in the front office with Phoenix.
And don't forget about his broadcasting career either, Kevin. I mean, I think in both cases, though, you look at these two guys, they were able to come in and have immediate credibility with their teams and their playing experience, part of their preparation for being coaches.
Rebound by the 76ers. Okafor's got 5 rebounds tonight. Okafor with a screen on Miller. Here's Sanders. Can't hit. And Minnesota will come the other way. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team. Rubio dishes to Jang. Barry Sanders grabs the miss. Sanders has got rebound number 8 now on the night. There's the pass to Covington. Back to Sanders. And it's going to be a 3-second call. The Timberwolves making a switch here. Levine's checked in. Timberwolves trail by 19.
Timberwolves timeout call.
And the Timberwolves call time.
And they've gotten good looks, you know, so that's one reason they're frustrated. Maybe he can come up with something to get them an easy one, maybe get to the line.
Yeah, you know, that may be the answer for them. But you know what else, Greg? Ultimately, I think because they're getting good shots, they'll make a better percentage of them going forward.
And we've made our way through just over a minute and a half in this fourth quarter. Martin with the bucket.
Three-pointers are killing them at this point, and they haven't been able to respond at the other end.
Yeah, and Greg, you know, the only way that's going to turn around defensively is by stopping the outside shot, not getting into a shootout. They're not going to out-shoot out this team.
Here's Sanders. The shot no good. So Minnesota will take it the other way.
You know, it hasn't always been the case in the NBA, but the parity is at a great spot right now. Every team can compete for a title or end up last in their conference, it seems. It's something the NBA wanted and ultimately now has achieved.
Rudez checked in for the Timberwolves. And so here is Philadelphia. They've played a great fourth quarter defensively, allowing only 3 points. Here's Sanders, rebounded by the Timberwolves.
Oh, tough D on the inside.
It sure was, Greg. No easy access to the basket when that fella's in the middle. He's definitely turned things around in this game. I mean, he was more of a background player in the first half. He's jumped center stage now.
Just over 2.5 minutes played now here in the final quarter of regulation. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. It's on Kevin Garnett.
Talk about complete control. Everything working in this one for Sanders. He has 9 rebounds, and he's been a brick wall today with all those blocks.
You got that right. He's giving them serious doubts about bringing the ball to the rim.
Philadelphia started to create a little bit of an identity last season. After all their transactions, Clark, and shifting around, they settled down and came together.
Yeah, and I tell you, it looks like the identity will be the Sixers being a defensive team going forward. Offense as it fits and starts, but defensively they found some traction.
Martin with the bucket.
And when he gets it going, this is what can happen. They need to think about the double team now.
The Timberwolves have gone just 33% from the field in the fourth quarter so far. They are 2 of 6. Wasted no time on that one.
As you said, the 76ers will be a team built on defense going forward. At least that's what it seems like to me. They have very active hands and can bother a lot of shots. They also force a ton of turnovers as well.
Fourth quarter of play, and over 3.5 minutes have gone by. Now the dish to Levine. With the floater, Kevin Martin grabs the board.
And, you know, guys, the Sixers did force a lot of turnovers, but they also gave the ball away the most in the NBA, so kind of negated the turnovers they forced. They can be as defensive as they want, but they've got to get better at taking care of the ball if they're going to improve it.
And again, it's Philadelphia.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
The Timberwolves have gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. And Rubio kicks to Rudez. Back to Rubio. Towns sets the pick for Rubio. Dishes it to Towns. Here's Levine. Offline with his 3.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at him. He has really shot the ball extremely well, as you'd expect. Like we say, he's been making sweet string music all day long.
Pass to Garnett. It's tipped. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Here's Levine. To the middle. Oh, he's going to get hit with his second flagrant foul of the day, and that's the limit. He's out of the game and on his way to the locker room.
And it's a much earlier end to this game for him than he would have wanted. He brought it on himself, though, Kevin. I mean, 2 fouls that were way too forceful.
Hey, G, the official's not cutting him any slack on the second one, but that usually is the way it goes. You know, once you cross the line and committed the first flagrant, there's a zero-tolerance policy. We all know that when it comes to the next one. Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Gorgie Dangs checked in for Towns. Myleague comes in for Damian Rudez. Andre Miller's checked in for Levine. And Jones subbed in for Ricky Rubio. And guys, KG is so loved and has given so much to the area of Minneapolis, St. Paul, the state of Minnesota. He really, Clark, views it as his home.
And Kevin, you started with him there in Minnesota when he got underway in the league. Fans love having him there and involved with the franchise again for sure.
76ers foul call.
And now we'll get a perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the 76ers.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shots.
And also, guys, they take a lot of pride in their ability to rebound the basketball, especially on the offensive end.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Payne's checked in.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for the 76ers.
Tonight, they seem committed to the three-point shot.
That certainly was their main meal, their bread and butter, if you will.
And so this will mark the 15th win of the year for them.
And when you play a team twice like these two will this season, always nice to win the first one as they'll go up 1-0 in the season series against the Timberwolves.
A fantastic show. And what an amazing all-around game it was for Sanders. And the way he was able to dice up their D with his passing really made things easy for everyone else on his team.
Payne can't hit.
That's a surprise. I mean, really out of character for him to miss when the defense is not right up on him. No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
And Minnesota has possession. Jones, that's for 2. It's good from the top of the key. 19 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And so the 76ers can now just hold on to the ball. And here is Rote. Thompson inside the line. Can't get it to fall. So it's the 76ers winning this one easily. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
And that's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And that'll do it, folks. This is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. Now time to head over to the studio where the award-winning Ernie Johnson is with Shaq and Kenny, all standing by. Guys, take it away.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, thank you, and now we get a chance to check out our Jordan Player of the Game. Talk about lighting it up in the second quarter. My word, that was just huge, and the impact carried them through the entire game.
He was up to every single challenge he faced tonight. He was in such control of the ball game. His showcase of his skill set was awesome.
Well, his ability to get into the paint, get to the rim was deadly. For a guy who's mainly a perimeter shooter, it was remarkable how many of his points came right at the bucket.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.